they're putting a lot of effort. I think a lot of that's coming from the fact that they're trying to expand and they're trying to have a bigger presence, and so they're pushing on these different avenues to try to get a better grip and move their way up in the marine industry.
Got it. Okay. So if you were thinking of just like the market share within cruise, what would Subsea, Hydrix, and then all the other guys have?
Market share, I'd say that Subsea probably at this point has 50 to 60%, and then Hydrix probably hits about 20 to 25%, and then the rest is the other guys.
And are those smaller guys? Are they servicing just kind of smaller like cruise lines with like a handful of boats versus like a Crystal or like a Royal Caribbean or something like that has a massive fleet? Or where do those smaller guys, where are they even relevant?
So the smaller guys are more relevant in the ports of opportunity where they have a good presence.
Got it. So you go into a port that's maybe you don't have presence with Hydrix or Subsea, but you have this local company that's there at that one port, and you could use them for some cleanings or one-off work if needed.
I think it's more like in the ports where the smaller guys have a presence. If the cruise company is being aggressive and pricing it out, they'll find that the price is going to be cheaper with a smaller group because they have less of an overhead as a company.
Right. Okay.
It's always the same. I mean, with all the marine industry groups, you'll find that there'll be a really big company that offers a lot of services and they're very specialized, but because they're so big, their prices are very expensive. And the little guys are always taking shares away from them because when we have the opportunity, the cruise companies will use the smaller groups if they're proven to do a good job, because their pricing is just going to be inherently better because they don't have the overhead of the corporation to take care of. Right. They're only have the overhead of a couple local offices, and they're more specialized, so they really can offer a better price.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So I guess what did cruise lines kind of push more business to the smaller guys that were priced lower during the recession, or did they kind of stay steady with their use of Subsea or Hydrix?
The bigger the cruise line, the more that they push towards these agreements, because they're able to use the volume of their ships and the amount of services they're doing to get a really good price from the bigger groups. So that's why I was saying for Subsea Global, I'm pretty sure that they've got a large share because they're such a big company and they have so much coverage that they're really hitting a lot of the same ports that the bigger cruise lines are hitting, because they have all their ships hitting all these ports. And right. And a lot of times what's going on, especially more and more these days, is that the really large corporations, it's not even just like, for instance, with Carnival Corporation, they have Princess Cruises, Holland America, Costa, they have all the different brands, and they've really started to push to have global service agreements coming from the corporate office, not the brand office, and they're negotiating as an entire corporation, not just as the brand, versus, say, for instance, like Crystal Cruises. We had a hard time really securing an economical annual agreement type contract because we don't have a lot of ships. We only have 3 ships. And so when it came down to actually trying to get a good price from any of the different suppliers, it was always difficult to find one that economically really made sense to lock in with one company.
Got it. Okay. Understood. Versus like when you were at Princess, that's owned by Carnival, right? So you have a ton of
Correct.
ships across all the different brands. Yeah. Okay. I got it. So okay. Yeah, so you didn't have like the major cruise lines shifting business from like the major 2 providers from a cleaning perspective, or